As Paul said in our theme passage, it's the power of God that brings salvation. But there is also a condition. There is also obedience that is necessary to receive the gift of grace. This is most clearly understood when we consider our relationship with God in the biblical context of recognizing it as a covenant. And I want to notice just a few attributes of the Christian covenant. There's many others that could be considered. Number one, there is a giver of this covenant, that is God. There are recipients of this covenant, that is faithful Christians. His covenant people must live in faithfulness. That is the condition upon which this gift of grace is given. So we might often be asked this question: do you believe that we're saved by grace or by faith or by works? My recommendation when you get that kind of a question is explain to them the concept of a covenant. Because without understanding the difference between the gift and the conditions, you'll never understand the correctness of how these things work together. And as you explain the concept of a covenant, you probably just opened up another opportunity to share the gospel. The covenant we are in with Christ is truly a powerful method. And so as we consider this question, are we saved by grace or by faith or by works? Well, are we talking about the gift of the covenant? Of course, the gift is grace. Well, are we talking about the conditions of the covenant? The conditions are obedience and faithfulness to his cause. We need to understand, are we talking about the gift of the covenant or the conditions of the covenant? Don't be ashamed to affirm the fact that we are absolutely saved by the power of God's grace. But when you affirm to people around you that we are saved by the grace of God, ask them the question, how do you receive that grace? What is the condition of that grace? And take them over to James chapter 2 that we just read and show them there are conditions to receiving that gift. By that point, they're probably ready to go back to Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 8, and they want to hear your commentary on that. Be glad to go right back to Ephesians chapter 2, and they'll love to quote this. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. Don't ever be ashamed to affirm this fact that we are saved by the grace of God. But take them right back to James when you tie these two passages together. How are we saved? By the grace of God through faith. Ask them what kind of faith are they talking about? Are they talking about a dead faith, mere mental assent that just has some kind of psychological understanding? Of course not. The faith under consideration is what James calls a living faith.